All right, man. A day after LeBron leaves in free agency. Should have done a video about that. I didn't. We'll talk when he goes to his new team, of course. The Lakers have moved 2 unprotecteds and done 2 pick swaps, and we'll see with those for Walker Kessler. And they got Grimes, Mamu, and Colin Sexton, so we'll talk those as well. Who is now on a $130 million deal, which is like 32 on average. So off rip, I have to ask, why is this a sign and trade as opposed to they just give him a big contract and the Jazz don't match? I'm guessing that allows them to have him at a lower number, I suppose. I mean, it also gives the Jazz a bunch of picks, to be fair. Like maybe they just said, hey, we'll take the picks. You can have them. There might be more salary cap mechanics at play. So in the heat of the moment, how I feel is 2 unprotecteds for Walker Kessler. It feels like more than I'd really want to trade for the guy, but I get it. It's the NBA. Sometimes you got to do that, okay? And then as far as these pick swaps, I mean, I'm trying to figure out in real time how good the Jazz are after this move. I mean, they've still got talent. They're going to have shooting and all that stuff. So, of course, if Luka is gone, let's say in 2030, then yeah, the Jazz owning your pick swap is a disaster for you. The 28, I mean, if the Jazz are better than the Lakers in 28, then yeah, that also sucks. And then as far as the 32 on average per year, well, next season, that would have Kessler at like the 58th, 59th highest paid player in the NBA. Like Jalen Suggs, Emmanuel Quickley, DeJounte Murray, Tyler Hero area. So do with that whatever you will. It's quite a bet on Walker Kessler. I mean, they need him. Obviously, he's got rim protection. He's got rebounding. This team, they need that. And last season, for what it looks like with Luka and Austin together defensively, the actual lineup numbers with those two on defense are better than you might think. Now, it was really a lot better when Marcus Smart was in there. Marcus has gone to Houston. 111 defensive rating with Luka and Reeves together last season. That's from Data Baller, about 1,000 minutes. Again, it's better than you might think. So the last time we saw Walker Kessler, which, by the way, that's another thing. Guy basically didn't play at all this previous season. But 2 years ago, opponents shot 10% worse at the rim with Kessler as the closest defender. That's one of the best numbers you're going to find of 2 years ago. I mean, it's not as good as Wemby, but it's honestly like it's in the ballpark of Wemby. It's in the ballpark of Gobert, of AD. Kessler, like his best use is in drop coverage, but he's got more mobility as well. Like he can play higher up on screens. If he ends up switched, sometimes it's not an emergency. His rim protection, again, it's a real thing the Lakers need. They also need his rebounding. He is going to be a real presence down there, okay? Is he going to give Wemby problems guarding him one-on-one? I don't know. And then we get to the offense, where I would say Kessler is limited. And at times, especially in his second season, the Jazz had to take him off the floor probably a bit more than they really wanted to for the sake of spacing, and that was the John Collins team, so lineups were a little weird. He has obviously never played with Luka. Austin can also run pick and roll with him as well. Kessler's a big body who can set screens. That's all nice. But we're going to have to see where Kessler can really get to with just, I think I used this term for Donovan Clingan the other day, like gracefulness on rolls, on gather steps, finishing on non-dunks. I mean, Luka's going to set him up for lobs. We all know that. I mean, Luka's going to set him up with the best looks that he's had in his career so far. It's just with the contract, I mean, between Luka, Kessler, and Austin, and I actually haven't talked about the Austin contract. I mean, if my numbers are right here, I think Austin projects to being like somewhere between the 36th, 37th, and like 44th or so in that area, highest paid player for most of that contract. It's more than I would like to pay him. It really just comes down to the playoffs. Like if he can overcome his playoff struggles versus teams like OKC, then I think you can live with it, but that's a big question. Can he do it? I mean, those are the two teams who are going to be weighing every move that a Western Conference team makes. So yeah, man, for Walker Kessler, I mean, good luck, because if he's not awesome, he's going to get roasted to hell on every Lakers section of the internet, because you gave up a lot for him. And Mamu just signed, so we can talk Mamu. We can talk Quentin Grimes as well. Look, Quentin Grimes, the idea of Grimes might be better than the actual Grimes at this point. I think Philly fans were pretty okay with him being gone. At one time, he looked like he could be like one of the more premier 3-and-D guys in the NBA. And like I do think that could still be in there. I'm not saying he's like washed it. Wow, I'm going to guess he's like 26. And obviously, Luka's going to set him up for shots. You know, he'll be wide open, corner threes, all that stuff. And he's got some off-the-catch juice as a driver. And yes, he did have that run for Philly where he averaged like 20 a game when they needed somebody to take shots. That is, of course, not this situation. It's just the shooting can be a little streaky. And I think defensively, he's cool. There you go. Maybe I'm hating on Quentin Grimes a little too much. I don't know. As far as Mamu, I did enjoy Mamu's season with the Raptors. He does give you, it's not just shooting that he can provide for you at that spot, but yes, he can shoot. He also just has this offensive mobility thing, or just general mobility thing, where like he can push it in transition, he can drive off the catch, he can just kind of float around on the perimeter, like make a kick to Luka, let's say, and then go and immediately flow into a pick and pop with him. So like that's cool. It gives you some offensive options. Like I did like Mamu last season. And they also just signed Colin Sexton. We're just learning the Lakers roster in real time pretty much here. I mean, Sexton, look, he'll play hard. He'll drive to the basket like a maniac. He's really a 2 guard in a point guard's body, but he can drive, make threes, and he was cooking there for a little bit with the Bulls. I mean, 18 a game on 61 true shooting, that is that. He's also like 6'1". Okay, fine. Is this team good on defense? Well, they just picked up a really good rim protector, and we know that sometimes you can have what should be an average defense overall and just one guy who's awesome at walling off the rim to where you're like the 8th best defense, and it's like, how'd they do that? I feel like if they had one awesome on-the-ball defender. I know Vando's here, but we know the story with Vando. Eventually, JJ realizes that the offense is too bad. I know Laker fans really wanted Dew to play. His physical profile is real. He really didn't play much in his first season. And then they got this Carr kid they drafted where the wingspan is there, but the strength has got to catch up. So we'll see where they get to on defense. I mean, my feeling with everybody in the West besides the Spurs and OKC right now is you're not as good as the Spurs and the Thunder, and the rest of you, I don't know, some of it depends on injuries, whatever. Yeah, West is pretty stacked, although granted, the Clippers just took themselves out of being a team to worry about like that. But with Luka's contract, I mean, he's under contract for 2 years, then it's a player option. This season has to go well. If it doesn't, then some uncomfortable convos need to start, are probably going to start happening. Now let's talk about the Utah Jazz for a bit. Walker Kessler's gone. Don't really love Jaren Jackson at center. He can do it for some minutes here and there, but he's ideally a 4. Did they possibly create like a trade exception here? Because I don't think they're getting any players back. I mean, Nurkic is on the team right now. I guess, for what it's worth, they were able to get some like decent DHO stuff with him with like Ace Bailey last season. They got Filipowski. I mean, I suppose you're just going Markkanen, Jaren, insert center here. We all just assumed it was Walker Kessler. I don't know. I'm just wondering now if the Jazz have enough rim protection and rebounding, but the floor is going to be spaced out depending on what lineup you want to do. You also got Darren Peterson who's going to make shots and make plays with the ball. And then they got themselves some more draft picks. I mean, the Jazz have once again traded a dude for more picks. Again, 2 of these are swaps, so we'll see with those, but more picks than perhaps we would have expected. I mean, I think the Mitchell return, like the amount of picks they got at the time, like that wasn't shocking. The Gobert one was shocking as far as how we feel about those trades and those players after years have gone by, whatever, but they did it again. Danny Ainge, he's always going to get his picks as far as how good they are. Well, I like Will Riley. I like the amount of spacing they've got, and look, Jaren can shoot, Markkanen can shoot. Like, Will Riley's putting those guys in like pin downs to catch the ball in the move or just be open for a 3. Keontae, of course, I think became good enough this past season to where then they were more comfortable trading for somebody like Jaren. The real question for the Jazz is, can you get, let's say, 60, 70% of what Kessler was going to provide for you at a much cheaper number? If you can, along with these picks that you got, then okay, good stuff. And if you do want to have like the very long picture in mind here, Darren Peterson, we're many years away from this, but he is probably going to be awesome, and he's going to command a real contract one day. Keontae is about to be on an extension. If you were also going to pay Kessler while having Markkanen and Jaren as well, this probably does free up the books some. The question is, do you just lose too much of what Kessler provided for you? Yeah, man, this is a wild one. I mean, Kessler, he has to be as good as he can be. They needed a center. They got a center. They needed defense. They got a very good rim protector. I mean, Ayton's still here if you want to care. Yeah, man, that might be about all I got. Wild stuff.